Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Tech Powder. Today I'm just going to share some of my observations from testing these Intel Xeons with two types of graphics cards, the Radeon 570 and the GTX 1070. I'm comparing this to my 1070 in my Ryzen 7 2700. So basically we're just changing the graphics card in the Intel to the same one which is in the Ryzen. And I've used TimeSpy as a way to test this, because TimeSpy kind of represents a simulation of AAA game, modern AAA game. So I use that one. So as you can see, this is the Intel Xeon here. This is a $25 CPU. I've got information about that on my previous videos, so if you want to know about getting that processor, check out one of those videos. I paired it with the RX 570 because this is a nice $100 GPU. But then I tried the Xeon with the more expensive 1070. This is just the graphics card that I have. But it's much more powerful than the 570. And this is also the one I use in my Ryzen. Ryzen's a pretty affordable CPUs, but they still go for about $200. Now, of course, prices go up and down, so this is just a guideline. This is the more expensive computer with the more expensive CPU. You have the more expensive graphics card. Again, that's about $200 as well. So that says like $400 computer. Not expensive, but more expensive than this one. Okay. But again, don't worry too much about the prices. Prices go up and down. As you can see, we've got what 1, 2, 3. This is the most expensive computer here. These two are using the Intel Xeon, and we tested with TimeSpy. Of course, yes, the most expensive one got the highest score. But what was interesting for me was looking at the graphics scores and seeing how the changing in the GPU compared to the change in the CPU. So for example, we'll look at this, the graphics score. As you can see from the 570 to the 1070, there is a big increase here. But between the Ryzen and the Intel, not so much. In fact, the Ryzen one dropped, and that could be just a margin of error. It's not a big deal, they're not big numbers. But the cheaper computer and the more expensive computer are almost the same for the graphics score. CPU score, the two Xeons are very close in their score, but as you can see, the Ryzen has a much bigger number for its CPU score, which makes sense for a more expensive CPU. But we're gamers, so we're interested in FPS, frames per second here, and again between the 570 and the 1070 there is a big jump by over 10 frames per second, but between the Ryzen and the Xeon it's very little. It's like 1 frame between it, and then at the second graphics test very similar scores. With the CPU test, you can see again the Ryzen almost doubles the FPS here. So if you have a game that's very CPU dependent, the Ryzen is going to increase your frames per second. But for just graphics and for many AAA games, the 1070 can still handle 1080p gaming pretty well, and it doesn't matter. You can save money and get the Xeon at $25. So that would be $225 for that computer. Whoops. Drawing with a mouse. There we go. $225. It's not bad for that combination. Now this is just me using a 1070. If you wanted to use something else, a 2080 or a 2070 or wherever you can afford, save the money on the processor. Get the best processor for the cheapest price. I recommend the Xeon X58. I've got videos about that. Check them out, how to get them cheap. You could try another board, X79, if you wanted to spend some more money. But you don't necessarily need to buy a Ryzen. Save your money, put all of your money into your GPU, and you can still get the same performance for graphics. You might lose a little performance with the processor, but think about how much money you're saving, and you can always upgrade at a later date. That's just a little bit from me, a little bit from what I found out, and hopefully it can help you save some money and get a good gaming computer. But for today, thank you very much. If you liked the video, click like, and please do remember to subscribe. Thank you very much. I'll see you in the next one.